I started to feel it in my bones, like cold fingers wrapping around the marrow, slow and steady. Every morning I woke up feeling a little less like myself. My reflection lagged behind my movements in the mirror. My voice echoed weirdly in empty rooms. Once I blinked and saw a forest instead of my bedroom, just for a split second. It was like the world I knew was starting to fray at the edges. And the house didn't help. It creaked in ways it hadn't before, like it was settling into something older, more deliberate. Doors opened on their own. I'd leave my room and come back to find my bed wet, like something had crawled across it, dragging moss and river mud. The family photos in the hallway began to warp. Faces stretching, grinning too wide, eyes too black. Then came the scratching. Not at the windows. Under the floors. Night after night, I'd lie there, heart thudding, listening to it move. It wasn't rats. I know what rats sound like. This was heavier, slower, like someone dragging fingernails across the wooden beams beneath me. One night it whispered again, "I'm still hungry." And I knew then it wasn't just Emma. Whatever had taken her, whatever had been waiting under our house, in our woods, in the walls, was still feeding. And now it had found a voice it could use. I began to speak in my sleep. My parents told me, said they heard me calling for someone named Mother Root, that I wept and laughed and screamed in tongues they'd never heard. I started waking up with dirt in my mouth, black soil packed between my teeth, gritty and cold. But I kept it together, barely, until the night I followed the footprints. It had rained that day, hard, the kind of rain that soaks the ground like blood. Around midnight, I got up to pee and noticed something outside the window. Tracks, bare feet, small, like a girl's, sunk deep into the mud, leading from the woods, straight to our porch, straight to my window. I grabbed the flashlight. It was instinct, same as Emma did, same as everyone who vanishes, I suppose. I stepped outside. The air was thick with rot and wet bark. I followed the prints. They led around the side of the house, to the shed, through the overgrown grass and twisted trees, until they stopped at the old storm cellar. We never opened it. It was bolted shut years ago after a raccoon infestation, or so I'd been told. But now the padlock lay twisted on the ground like it had been chewed apart. The wooden door stood slightly open, breathing cold air from below. And from inside, I heard her voice, soft, singing, that same old hum. I should have run, but I didn't. I stepped inside. The air changed instantly. Thicker, heavier, smelled like copper and mildew and something burned. The stairs creaked beneath me, and the flashlight flickered. The walls were damp stone, etched with symbols I didn't recognize. And in the far corner, kneeling in the dark, was Emma, or something wearing her skin. She turned slowly. Her face was pale, bloated, mouth sewn shut with black thread. But her eyes begged. They screamed. Behind her, roots snaked from the walls like veins, pulsing, twitching. One of them was wrapped around her neck. I tried to speak, to scream, but my throat closed. Then it rose, from the soil, from the walls, from within the very wood of the cellar. A figure, tall, skeletal, its body made of twisted bark and sinew and shadows. Its face was a hollow knot, its limbs branching in impossible angles. I knew, without knowing how, that this was it. Mother Root. It didn't move, didn't speak. It just reached out a limb, gently, almost lovingly, and touched my chest. And I saw everything. The history buried beneath our house. The offerings made in secret. The families that disappeared one by one. The blood-soaked roots stretching under the town like veins. Feeding, breeding, waiting. The thing wasn't just old. It was patient. It had shaped the land, the town, us. It had taken Emma, It wanted me. And the worst part? A small, sick part of me wanted it back. Because in that moment, I felt what she had felt. After the fear, after the screaming, after the tearing of soul from skin. Peace. A peace so deep it felt holy, like becoming part of something ancient, eternal. I would never feel alone again. Never suffer. Never fear. Just root and rest and rot. And I almost said yes. Almost. But then Emma looked up. Really looked. And shook her head. A tiny motion. No. She mouthed it. And the spell broke. I stumbled back. Screamed. Thrashed. Ran. The cellar exploded in noise. Roots crashing. The ground heaving. Her song turning into a shriek of wind and earth. I don't remember making it home. I just remember waking up on the porch. The door open. My feet bleeding. And Emma's humming gone.